Among the four noble families in Resident Evil Village, House Dimitrescu stands out as the most iconic, including the Dimitrescu daughters. These three monsters are Ethan's primary fear when wandering the halls of the castle, since their total reliance on human flesh meant that he was susceptible to being one of their daily meals at any moment. And with their ability to turn into a swarm of insects, they can always appear out of nowhere and surprise Ethan when he's not expecting it. So what is the secret behind their abilities? What explains their constant thirst for blood, and are they biologically related to Lady D? If these questions seem interesting to you, sit back and relax as we go through the deep lore of House Dimitrescu and uncover the secrets of the three daughters.
Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch. Taken alive, dead, which would you prefer? You will look wonderful mounted in our hall.
Before we describe the Dimitrescu daughters within the timeline of Resident Evil 8, let's uncover their birth story, which reaches far before the start of the events of the game. Before they were turned into the monsters we know them as, the three daughters were normal people just like the rest of the inhabitants of the village, and they served Lady Dimitrescu in her castle. One day, Lady D along with Mother Miranda decided to conduct a Kadu-related experiment on the three of them. The Kadu that was used on them carried a specific type of carnivorous insect that uses a special mechanism to survive, and they were called blowflies. Once the Kadu eggs hatched inside of their bodies, the flies consumed them and began imitating their DNA and creating an identical version of the three villagers. After the transformation was complete, the daughters woke up and made Lady Dimitrescu feel an immediate motherly connection with them. She then decided to adopt them as daughters and named them Bella, Daniela, and Cassandra. And this was the start of the Dimitrescu daughters. The first encounter Ethan has with the daughters occurred after he entered the castle in search of his child. The three bug monsters took him to Lady Dimitrescu to determine his fate. Although they seemed very hungry and ready to devour Ethan's flesh, they obeyed their mother when she said that she needed to inform Mother Miranda first and pinned him up so he couldn't escape until it was time to feast upon him. After Ethan sacrifices his poor hands for the 1000th time and frees himself, he is confronted by Bella in the kitchen while exploring the castle. His gun doesn't seem to damage her, but after he accidentally shattered the window, the cold air entered and made her a lot easier to eliminate. This was the moment Ethan discovered their vulnerability to cold air. Just like a vampire is damaged from exposure to sunlight, the Dimitrescu daughters hated to feel cold. The next daughter that Ethan faces is Cassandra. She appears out of nowhere after he enters a room in the castle with a huge crack on one of its walls. Just like the previous daughter, she is invulnerable to gunfire. However, Ethan manages to break the wall that's weak using pipe bombs, letting cold air flow inside the room and cause the daughter to lose her invincibility. It only takes a couple shotgun shells to kill her after that. After this encounter, Ethan is faced with the last one of the daughters, which is Daniela. He meets her in the castle's library after using the iron insignia key to open it. Immediately after entering, a huge skylight is noticed in the ceiling, but it doesn't break using gunfire. Luckily, Ethan finds the lever that after being pulled causes the skylight to open and let the cold air fill the space once again. Of course, Cassandra wasn't happy about that, but unfortunately for her, she couldn't do anything about it as her body was already collapsing, giving Ethan a chance to easily kill her. From all the three appearances the daughters had in the game, it is apparent that there is something special about their behavior that doesn't match other monsters in the franchise. The Kadu transformation that the daughters resulted from was somewhat different from all the experiments of its kind. It preserved the intelligence of the daughters and their ability to know whom to attack and whom to respect, as they showed great devotion to their mother Lady Dimitrescu and followed her commands without question, while also looking at everybody else as food to keep them alive. It's also notable that the Dimitrescu daughters never aged since the day of the experiments responsible for their birth, which may or may not mean that they're immortal. The hesitation in my last statement comes from the fact that the flies that shape their appearance are limited and will eventually die one by one, leading to the inevitable death of the daughters. But there could be also a way that they use to attract other flies in order to replace the dead ones, or maybe the flies are just immortal themselves. There is no clear answer for this, so choose what you want to believe. Although these flies can take damage from normal weapons under normal conditions, if they are exposed to cold air, specifically below 50 Fahrenheit, they freeze into a cryptobiotic state and shatter into pieces moments after. A note found in the castle's dungeons hints at this weakness. I don't know what to do. The young ladies were complaining it was too hot and stuffy during dinner, so I opened the window just a crack. Shut it! Shut it now, they all shrieked at me in unison. I fear I may be taken down into the cellar, never to be seen of again. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Their impulsive response when she opens the window slightly suggests that they were very scared of the cold. This weakness is the only reason Ethan was able to damage the daughters and eventually kill all of them. If Ethan fought the daughters in a house with no windows or damaged walls that are on the verge of collapsing, daughters would have been much harder to eliminate, or maybe even impossible to beat. So Ethan, you're a lucky guy. This is the end of the video. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.